having such a good time backstage. Totally forgot what time it was. Welcome to Sunday Night Hang right here on Sunday. That's what the title says, and that's what it is. I'm Ben. This is Greasy. You're you. We're gonna get the roll call momentarily, but man, we're gonna have a bunch of fun tonight. I already know. We're just gonna have a bunch of fun, and you can tell us much because at 11:26 this morning. That's like 8.5 hours ago. Michael Krause, first in the chat. Good to see you, Mike. Rock Daddy next, then JP Page 2, Cushman NYC, Michael B renewing his channel membership. Awesome, thank you. You too could be cool like Michael B and click that join button. Be like cool like him and choose the big helper level. Really helps fill out, especially I got to renew the software soon. Ugh, it costs hundreds of dollars. This ain't free, folks. People, oh well, YouTube, it's free. No, it's not. It's not. The software we use costs dozens of dollars a week. Oh, there's Billy Baloney, and then Ferd Burful, and JP Page 2. Who else we got here? Billy Baloney. His Guitar Man 45 says you need to be a show. Do you have to have a guitar with sparkles? Yes. Do that without knocking over my drink or destroying the guitar. Perfect. Woohoo! That's not often. I have something that Bo doesn't, since he's got about 130 guitars. Zach Thong, welcome to your 40s, Zach. It's all downhill from here, bud. His birthday yesterday, turned the big 4-0. There's Terry 3Gs, Eston Ray, unfucking believable. Patrick Trites. Who else is here? We'll say hey to each other. Oh, now I got gas. Perfect. There's Ryan Hall. Wayne McConnell. There's Nelson. Well, CD Nelson 87. It's Canadian Elson 87. I think it's Nelson. Chris. I want to say first name Chris. Rather than calling you Nelson. Papa Blue. Riffs, Reviews, and Mods. I think that's a new name in here. Welcome, my friend. Great name for a channel. Guitar Bob. I like that. You know all the chords, don't you? He knows all the chords. Like he hasn't heard that 14,000 times. Hey, you choose the screen name, it's going to happen. There's Steve Razor Ray. Steve's here. All right. Hip Metalworks. Great to see Hip. L Bar J in the house. Brother Trev. That's Symmetry for those who don't know. Oh, they're all talking to each other. BC Rich 581. The voice of Cornhole has arrived. McCollum Music. Munch Michelli. Searching for Tone. What's up, Brian? Good to see you. Mark Spurgeon. Search for Tone. You did a community post today. Say, hey, you should watch the show featuring us. I will. Not much I can say about that. Dan Gorman is, in fact, here. Who else we got here? John Landino. Repeats. Mark Spurgeon. Michael B. Chris is correct. Yay! I don't remember where I knew that, but I do. Well, let's see if I keep remembering that. Blue Mox. He got an LOL for Guitar Bob, so it wasn't that much an overuse thing. There's Mark Taft in the house. Martian Murray. Not Martian. Not Murray. Also a Chris. Fun fact. I like him anyways. Keith H in the house. What's up, Keith? The Ubi! Getting all the Texans in here. Stephen Douglas is here. Who else we got here? Oh, that's it. Rock Daddy. Did I say Rock? I think he was at the beginning, but we're back. There we go. We got 52 people in here. Hit the like, please. We got 50 likes on this. YouTube would actually promote it for once. What? Road to 7,000 subs. We're hoping to do it by the end of the year. We're at 68. It's a cool number. 101 would be better than be 69. All right. So there we go. So if you have any questions for myself or Greasy, aka Dave, you can at us with the ampersand. You can put some question marks at the front of your comment. You're a member, you can use a member milestone. Stand out with Super Chat, even. Just saying. So I got to look at new streaming software. So we're getting rid of the StreamYard. It went well over $400 US. That's a lot. It's Johnny 3 Bar. Awesome. What's up, Johnny? Great to see you. So I could ask you where your guitar journey began, but I'm not. That's another guy's job. It's been asked. Wait, we've lost your sound. Why have we lost your sound? Your sound is gone. What the hell happened here? This is not good. I was going to say, maybe jump out and I'll add you back. That will fix it as often as not. Because, yeah. Digicals, folks. It was working beforehand, folks, is what I'm saying. Don't steal. Hey, I think it was Ubi's channel. I found out Chris's name was Chris. I can say that. It's because Pete's in Japan, Stephen. So we'll probably go until about 9:30 Eastern. So, and then y'all say, Ben sent us over. And you'll say, Ben who? Like, for fuck's sakes, Pete. I love him. We're saying off air, it's been almost 4 years since he's been on here. Yeah, I know, Donnie. That's exactly what happened. And he isn't coming back either. I hope he didn't like reset his whole network or computer. Maybe everything blew up. I don't know. Should be interesting. So I see Ryan Hall will actually make a live stream and not catch it on replay. Awesome, Ryan. It's great to see you back. Brian did do that. Hey, Greasy Monkey is under the studio. Yay. All right. Hey.
Are we back?
Yay!
All right. All right. The miracles of modern technology.
Yep. Digitals.
Yeah, it's been the bane of my existence. I'm, technologically, I'm kind of, a little tarded there.
Ooh, we got a question even. Oh, look at that.
Uh-oh.
And it's interesting because it actually puts a question in the corner of the box on my screen. Not that one. Jeez, this one. So I'm curious.
Okay. How did I become greasy? And do I like Strats or Les Pauls more? Okay. How I became greasy, I was always, I used to do heavy industrial mechanics. And I was working at Hasbro, and this one gal, I was walking by her in this copy room trying to make some copies for something. And she goes, don't get too close to me. You're a filthy, greasy monkey. And that just kind of stuck with me. And I'm like, so. And like Strats or Les Pauls, ooh, damn, that's tough.
Yes.
As far as Strats goes, I like Charvels. Regular Fenders, I don't know what the deal is, but Charvels, oh yeah, they're.
Now is it maybe do the humbucker in the bridge?
Probably, but I just overall, I don't know. I just like the feel of Charvels. I mean, I think the neck.
Mm-hmm.
I like the 12 to 16 compound. I love jumbo frets. I'm a huge fret guy. But they're pretty much neck and neck. Charvel or a Les Paul or any good Gibson.
Right.
It's all good.
Ladder fretboard radius. I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
I go either way. I literally spent half my life on each. And
yeah, and whenever you play something, I could play Les Paul radius, and then I can go to my Fender Broadcaster, which is a straight 7 1/4, and I'm good. And then, and in between, even like for instance, this thing, this is my Blue Flower telly. If I can just get the glare out.
Oh yeah, is that made in Japan?
No, this is a Fender custom shop.
Oh, well, look at you upgrading my question. Jesus. Well, I don't get a lot of custom shop people on this channel. I'm just saying right now.
It's a crazy flex, I know. But
no, that's sweet. No, because like I know if you were to get one of those, the outside of custom shop, it's only FSR out of Japan. Is the last time they'll do maybe 10 of them a year. 7 go to the US, 1 goes to Europe, and 2 come to Canada, I think.
And the prices are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this on a really ridiculous sale. I mean, I got it real cheap. I didn't pay full retail. And this is a 7 1/4 to a 9 1/2 compound, which is pretty cool. with the 6105s on it, and
Yes.
the hand wound.
I do enjoy vintage size frets are smaller for me.
Yeah, you played with high action, and you had to really mash down, didn't
I play
you?
with very low action, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I play with low action and still managed to mash it into the fretboard. Yeah, that's me. Hey, Amin. Yeah, I like the Clash.
Yeah.
I like the early stuff better than the later stuff. Definitely.
Yeah.
I dig the Clash.
Do you ever get like when, for instance, when a band, you like them when they're kind of unknown, but then when they explode really big, it's like, eh. You ever get like that?
I've never seen a Paisley with a Floyd. Next Partscaster? Ooh, Stephen Douglas. That's
That would be
interesting.
kind of cool.
Speaking of Dave, we got another Dave. There's 6-string Stanger.
Oh, hey, Stanger. I really enjoy his channel a lot.
Great to see Tim. Yeah. I like Ubi says, I have custom shop taste and a cigar box budget. Yeah, me too. I always say I have Murphy Lab taste, but a Firefly budget.
Yeah.
Especially after playing in Murphy Lab. I don't recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, that's...
it'll ruin you. It'll literally... Played one 2 weeks later, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks later. I was back in doing demos. I'm demoing an R8. And I'm like, what a hunk of crap. Like, that's what it felt like. I was completely ruined. Now, I played that same R8 again a few months later. Amazing guitar. It was just that's how ruined I was. Because it was literally Gibson USA. I felt the difference between Gibson USA and Custom Shop. There is a difference. What it is, couldn't tell you. Can't put it into words, but there is a difference. And then there was that difference again to a Murphy Lab, which I didn't know existed. It was like you always played your guitar on 9 out of 10 on both tone and volume pots, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, it's a little brighter, it's a little more. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, especially when you read the specs, you always get the Floor Traveler now with your guitars. Like, like the neck is, it could be flat sawn, but it's a really good, level. Or if it could be like that what they call a 5/4 sawn. Mm-hmm. And it's just really, you could feel the rigidity in the neck versus just a regular flat sawn. And there's just little differences like that. And especially another flex, my first custom shop. It's I got it dirt cheap from Music Zoo about 4 years ago. And there was a problem. There wasn't any output, and it had these black stains all over the body. Mm-hmm. And it had the wrong pick guard on it. And so I'm like, I'll take a chance on it. So, and they called me and said, hey, there's no output coming out from it. You still want it? And I'm like, yeah, could you knock a little more off? They said, sure. So I got it real cheap, and I got it. And turns out I just had to undo the plug, the wire off the ground, kind of gotten, between where the whatchamacallit, the instrument cable and the just interfered with it, so there was no signal. And I moved that straight, sounded fine. And then a little Virtuoso cleaner took off the black smudges where it reacted. And then it it was great. It's a fantastic guitar, super lightweight, and the pickups were even hand wound by Abigail Ibarra, who was a longtime Fender employee, started working there at Fender like 1958 or so. And so I'm like, oh, wow, this is like some cool Fender history. And just the more I was like finding out about this guitar, it just kept getting better and better. And then when I was changing the strings, I pulled the neck off and stamped on the heel was May 12th, 2011. And May 12th is my birthday. And so that was a pretty cool thing.
That is cool.
And May 12th, 2011 was like the best birthday I ever had. So it was like even better. And so, yeah, it's a real special.
Billy Baloney says, I have Abbey pickups in my Strat.
Nice. And they are awesome pickups. Her apprentice, Josephina, she's like the Abbey of the now time.
There's a cat around, Ubi, for both of us. There's cats lurking.
Little cat on the bottom. It probably is. No, that's just some stuff piled there. I know I need to get a better, screen thing. I figured it would fit, but within the
a bunch of non-working speaker cabs works for me. Half of these don't work.
Oh, well, you'll see my jacked up looking all messy kitchen and stuff in the back, so no one needs to see that.
Well, there's that. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I would love to, have a little office, or, just live in a house that I can have my own room and, just have all the cool stuff. Mm-hmm. I'll probably buy a couple stacks just to put them in the background.
Well, Stephen, I mentioned doing the prefix of the question marks, which I stole that actually from RJ, who may or may not have stolen that from Phil McKnight. Just saying. Oh, yeah, you can turn those knobs. I don't. I always just rake my hand against them and make sure they're always up to 10. Although, as of late, I have been using the master volume, like on the Gretches, or if it's a single volume guitar, to clean up, as it were, for certain passages. Because I can, now that I've actually learned how to stack gain over the last few years, to the point where even if I have a high gain signal, I can, with the right guitar, of course it has to be the right guitar, because some of them, as you back it down, you might as well be just turning down the tone at the same time.
Yeah. What's your opinion on using attenuators?
I've never felt the need.
Oh, okay.
Same as I always, if I just people are like, well, what's a good, home amp versus a gigging amp? I'm like, there's a difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome, Timothy Richards. I think I saw you're over in Ed's chat yesterday, among other places. Okay. Sure. By the way, yeah, Android phones and EV Mux don't play well together. Just letting you know, folks. That's a public service announcement. If you're trying to connect on a show that uses EV Mux and you got an Android phone, don't. You're probably going to have audio issues.
So overall, between StreamYard and EV Mux, I know you use StreamYard, but a lot of people say that the quality's better on EV Mux.
I'm going to EV Mux mostly because of the price. They're 25-30% cheaper for basically the same package.
Oh, okay.
And that's a lot to me.
Yeah, it's a lot to anybody.
It's at least $100 a year. Well, that's a pedal.
Yeah.
Or half a pedal.
That's not a not cheap pedal.
Yeah, I was gonna say most pedals I like are usually a couple $100 US plus. Because again, make the mistake, you play through a boutique pedal, you don't unhear that, and you're like, well, great. I can't it's like, well, I just made the rest of these pile of pedals obsolete immediately.
Yeah, my little clones and stuff, and then I happen to get a J Rocket what is it, Icon? Mm-hmm. And that thing is amazing. And I have a Cherryatone pedal too, and looks just like the Klon. And those two are just over the top great, And I have my little Temu $35 pedal, and it gets close, but you can hear it. Even just adjusting the controls.
Man, I want to get a Gretsch 6129 Silverjet. Seen one last night. They're not. Yeah, they are really nice. I know that guitar. They're very nice. Ubi says pedals. Bah, amps. Bah. I just need to drag my computer with me everywhere. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. We were talking about. Now, I'm not going to throw anybody on the bus because there's different people in different situations. Like I say, not all of us can run stereo tube amps at home and have a happy life. But it was interesting because it was commentated like on a couple of great players, but every guitar he plugs in sounds the same. I was like, well, because he's playing through an algorithm and not actual hardware.
Yeah.
You're going to hear a subtle difference, but usually all you're going to hear is a difference in gain because of different pickup output. But, great player, but everything he plays sounds the same because he's playing through software. And, which some people, fine, if that's your deal. But I can't do it myself. I lose feel. I've done it during recording process. like the intro you heard tonight, that was digital lamps, and I could tell right away that it's a digital lamp. Now I used a regular pedal board into basically a Neve channel strip and then used a virtual amp and cab.
Yeah, when you say I'm old school, I like my tube amps. It's like a.
He's like, I'm here for a fight. Well, we'll have to do a Sunday night hang together, Oob, but we could discuss it all in good fun. I'd be down for that. Hit me up, Ooby. I'd love to.
But then again, he doesn't have all that gear to pay for and worry about and maintain. And
well, and that's the thing. Other than guitar, and pedals come thing once I do use, but amp wise, I got that amp since I started YouTube. I have that one since I started YouTube, but I don't use it. Everything else I've had pre-YouTube. It's funny. Like one of my first setups was basically an SM58 on a boom stand, and that was the mic I used. So it's a more closed mic, and because you can't self-monitor through these things, I had to do an offline hang with a buddy like this, and I'm like, tell me, I'm like, am I distorting? Blah blah blah, and I'm adjusting stuff. He's like, holy crap, dude, you sound amazing, like radio quality amazing. I'm like, well, I'm using a spare mixer from my old band. It's like,
yeah.
And I took it out. I took the output of the mixer, which is line out, boom, directly into the computer. I got a 4-band EQ. I can add a bit of reverb if I wanted to, because it was all in the mixer. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm not using a little computer interface. I'm using a musical interface, which is vastly different.
Okay.
Which I highly recommend.
Are you using a Rodecaster now?
No, I'm using a USB microphone sitting on my desk. Even when I play guitar, USB microphone sitting on my desk, just miking the room. And I'm playing it. I'm playing loud in here. Like I am playing damn near at stage volume. So the amps are pushing like they're supposed to. Because I found that if I don't push the amps, well, you know how it is. You turn an amp, a tube amp, until it gets that little too loud for a bedroom is when it kicks in and has an oomph to it. Everything before that's anemic, huge jump, but then all of a sudden it's alive. So, and that's what I do.
Speaking of that, like what I always hated about the old Fender Hot Rod series, before the version 3 came out, they had that linear taper, master volume pot. And it was like quiet, and you even look at it funny, way too loud. And then when they went to an audio taper, it's way more controllable.
Mm-hmm.
It took them a while.
But the funny thing is, once you get that jump of loud, you start adjusting. Yeah, it gets a little loud, and then it kind of just mellows, and then it'll just saturate. So it's weird that way. But yeah, like this amp back here, I bought, I don't know, 9 years ago, because I was with the band. I had a 212 solid state amp. We played basically in a circle in a boathouse, and the other guitar player in the band was the best friend. We're carpooling to practice, and we're leaving practice one night, heading to his place, and he says to me, "So I don't want to be that guy." I'm like, "Oh, like, am I getting kicked out of the band?" I'm thinking. He goes, "But if you want to stay in this band, you have to get a tube amp."
Wow.
And it's like, why? He said, "I can't hear you. It doesn't throw." And like I said, we played in a circle, and he played opposite me. And the singer in the middle, she could hear it fine, but it wasn't making it to him. Meanwhile, his tube amp was cutting right through fine, and I could hear him clear as day.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wow, okay. Because we tried. He's like, turn up. And I'm like, nope, doesn't matter. It was just getting lost in the mix, essentially. So it just happened. I want to say a week later, he sent me a link on basically Craigslist for that amp. He's like, I think I found your amp, and I think you can get a deal on it. And I went, okay. So I get to his place, because I was driving to his place at the time when he sent me the text, so I'm not going to check the listing. I get to his place. He's on the phone. Go downstairs, smoke the bong, open up the ad. I look at it. It's the owner of the local Fender dealer, but it's not through the store, because it was his son's amp, and he was just selling it for his son. And so he was sitting at the store and he thought, I'll throw it up just as a, And so I hit him up. Buddy comes down, let's say 10 minutes later, finish his phone call. He goes, so did you look at that ad? I'm like, I already bought the amp. He's like, damn. And yeah, I got a sweet deal on it.
That's cool.
Yeah. I put a down payment on it, and then my dad's heard about it. He goes, no, just go pay it off. I'm like, okay. He goes, you can owe me the money instead of a music store. I'm like, okay.
That's even better.
Yep. And I brought it home. He goes, oh, you didn't tell me it was tweed. Is this a vintage? Because in his mind, that's a 50s Fender. Because they haven't done tweed on a Fender since the 50s. I'm like, they've reissued tweed amps, Dad. Like, it's like.
Oh, what was it? A deluxe?
Yeah, it's a Blues Deluxe reissue.
Oh, Blues Deluxe. Okay. Yeah.
And that's why I want it loud and clean. He's like, there's no gain in this thing. I'm like, I know. That's good.
Is there any dream amps you want to get that you haven't gotten yet?
See ya, Oob. Yes. Ideally, I'd like to swap out the Blues Deluxe for a Princeton. Because, again, I don't need to push that much volume.
Yeah.
I'm only getting deafer each Monday. Having amp that head volume, no less. And then I'd like to replace the DSL 20 with either the JCM 800 Studio, which I think is also 25 watts, mini head, which I really like. Because for some reason, 800s work with me better than a Plexi, or a Friedman JJ Jr. But that's just a dream, yay!
Okay, that's cool. Myself, I'd love just a Tweed Deluxe, the 5E3 circuit. That would be cool. Sure. And as far as like my amps that I have, let's see, I think it's a 1982, 83, something like that, JCM 800 212 combo. It's a 6 knobs, vertical inputs, and I got it. The thing is, I got it like when did I buy that thing? Like in 25 years ago, and I paid $300 for it on eBay. Nobody wanted them. Everybody
I know. Because like I'm running a Marshall 212 cab, because I don't need a 412. 212 fine, and I'm like, what you're describing, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I want.
Yeah, and it's been a good amp, and I actually sold it, and then years later I got it back, just walking in. And it was on my birthday in 2011 that I tell you, like, the next amp on my Fender, and walk into True Tone Music in Santa Monica, and I was with my wife, and then she's like, we're looking. She's like, she likes amplifiers and she likes lap steel, and she's a classically trained pianist. So we look at, hey, look at that Marshall. I'm like, yeah, hey, wait, that kind of looks like my old amp. And I'm like, holy shit, it is my old amp. So I bought it back and needed some work. So I ended up putting some neodymium creambacks in it, and which made it a lot lighter. And also, have you ever seen this YouTube channel called Fazio Electrics? Her name's Colleen Fazio, and she works on amplifiers. I
think, it's come up my feed.
She lives in the Tujunga area here in California. And right before COVID, in 2019, she was working at this one place called Revamp Amp Store, and they serviced amps there. And so Andy and Colleen worked on my amp, and the circuit was modified and stuff. So they basically put it all 100% back to stock, and it's been awesome ever since. Recapped it and everything, new tubes. And Colleen does amazing work. And, we're lucky to have her out here in California.
Sure.
And her channel's really good. It's informative. If she was like an electronics professor, she would have perfect attendance, and everybody would probably learn everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff here. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Michael knows. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just seeing a bunch of dream amps. Like, a Tone King Royalist. That is nice.
Oh, those are nice.
Bogner Shiva. Yeah. I almost drooled yesterday. I thought I saw a Bogner at the sale I was at, but it was a Bugera. And I went from all like, Especially when I saw the price, because I'm like, literally, it's funny. I was talking to, I'm not going to say who it is in the chat here last night, but I said, you almost got like a phone call text, like begging for a loan for a week. He's like, oh, he's like, why? I'm like, I thought I saw this at this price. He goes, I would have given you the money for that. I'm like, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then I was like, oh, Bogner. Oh, it's a Bugera. No, never mind. What's up, Art?
I guess some Bugera stuff might be all right.
Before they were bought by Behringer.
Yeah.
But I refuse to use anything that they own any part of.
Even the new kind of retro pedals, the Moog copies and stuff.
No, because I hate those even more, because I'm like, that's blatant copyright infringement as far as I'm concerned. It's one thing to copy the circuit, but when you're doing the housing and everything else, I'm like, you might as well be making Chipsons at this point.
Well, they can say, but it's simulated wood sides.
Yeah, I remember saying by everyone was, oh, this is awesome. It's a great affordable version. I'm like, it's not an affordable version. It's an affordable copy.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big difference, you know. And I'm seeing like it on one hand, like all like low end gear, better than it's ever been. You know, like when we're around the 80s, if you bought a guitar for $300, good luck ever tuning it or keeping it in tune once you did tune it. You know, now you buy a $300 guitar, yeah, it's gonna be pretty decent. But just know if you're looking at any kind of a burst or a, you know, like a Fender or Gibson style burst, the wood you see underneath isn't wood. That's a photograph. 99% of the time. And most people don't realize that. They're like, oh, look at this flame top. I'm like, that's a nice photo of a flame top.
Yeah.
But like same as Fender. Fender's been after 20 years.
Because they're moving it.
Yeah, you know, you move it. I'm like, do you see any movement in the wood? No, because it's a photo. And I learned that because it was a Squire Affinity series. You know, I'm looking at, as I was looking at a bunch of two-tone burst strat, like the traditional 50s burst strats. Yeah. And the deal had a bunch of them out on display. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, they're all identical. Like right down to the wood grain is identical. And it's not until you see them all right next to each other, you're like, oh shit, that's the same photograph. They don't even mix it up.
Well, you remember those old made in Japan, the photo flame guitars in the early 90s that Fender was putting out?
Oh, yeah.
And then they had the, what they called it, the Hamburglar on the back of the neck around 7th or 8th fret. It was like, it looked like his face in the thing. And somebody was thinking like, some employee was probably pissed off and just kind of altered the photo or something and kind of did that. That's always, I always look for the Hamburglar. There it is.
Yeah. Photo finishes. Gotta love them.
Yeah. So, you know, you're not a fan of Chibsons.
I have several actually.
Oh, really? Oh,
but I never bought one direct. I got them all from a buddy who's now passed on. And it was one of them. One was good. The other two were kind of basket cases, including a Les Paul Axis copy he got because he was a big Alex Lifeson fan.
Oh, okay.
And literally the bridge is drilled in the wrong spot, so you can't intonate it. Because I forget what it is. And half of it's metric, half it's imperial. The wiring is garbage. The wood is unknown. I know because I have a Les Paul Custom. That's what he got first, a white custom like Alex Lifeson had. And I was over at his place. I was like, well, this plays pretty decent. I was like, when did you get it? And it fooled me at first, but then I started playing it. I'm like, this plays good, but this doesn't feel like a Gibson. And I had never heard of Chibsons at all until he told me. He found his website and blah, blah, blah. And a few years later, I ended up getting the guitar off him in a trade. And I gigged with it for a year or so, I want to say, maybe 2. But I also put a Duncan 59 in the bridge. And I just rode the bridge all night. You know, so it had decent tone. But now I've realized the neck's kind of chunky and there is some inconsistency with the frets, so I've never done a fret level on it, but I'm not surprised it's coming apart after 10 years of even just sitting, barely being played. They're not designed to really last, per se.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just, I bought one a while back, and, it was missing a couple inlays. was like a Les Paul custom. And I just looked at it and I'm like, oh my God, the frets were terrible and everything had to be replaced. I just gave it away.
Yeah, one of them was one of the screws for the locking nut to put down the top, one of the top screw type things. It was stripped. The neck pickup didn't work on the access. So, and my buddy didn't care because he only just played on the bridge pickup anyways. And then when I got it, I'm like, well, let's see what happened. And I'm looking, and the wiring for the pickups had been wrapped around the threads of the switch when it was installed. And so when they put the screw on it to tighten it down, it pinched the wire cutting through the casing, so it was grounding out the hot lead for the neck pickup. So as soon as I pulled that away, I'm like, oh, neck pickup works. Look at that.
Yeah.
Or I have an ES 1275 I'm looking at right now, which has been detuned since I got it because he was playing it one night, and then he got up the next day and he's looking at it, and the tailpiece is now doing a sad face at him.
Oh, wow.
Because the metal's that cheap. It literally just... It's the funniest thing to see. You're like, that's not straight. It's like jacked up.
Oh, my God.
We're not going to jam, Timothy. I only play guitar on my Monday show. We just talk on Sunday nights. I play guitar on Mondays, as well as live Q&A, as well as we do a portion with Charles doing bad album covers, which started out merely as I had Charles start coming on the show just so I could see the look on his face with these albums, because it really started out with me sending those album covers to him at work while he was in meetings, because he had he's so trusting, Dave. That man, Charles is a wonderful soul. He's so trust. He would tell me, "Oh, I have a meeting at 11 tomorrow." I'm like, "You shouldn't have told me that." Or he'll say, or worse, I have a presentation at what? Because I'll wait till 10 minutes into the presentation because I know his phone is always on in case his wife needs to get a hold of him. So then I'll send him an obscene meme or an album cover in the middle of his presentation just to fucking rock his world. And that's how that started, because I'm an idiot that way. So.
Oh, and Steve Risser, yeah, my blue telly is my number one.
Nice. I'm glad you're here too, Timothy. Yeah, that's what the question with the Les Paul and the Telly came up. It's like, I started learning on a Telly. My first electric was a Les Paul. And then when I really got back into playing, which I'd say 12 years ago, we'll say, I got back into music doing sound for bands. And then I was like, I don't want to do sound. I want to be up on stage. That looks like way more fun. And so, yeah. And then I got it, and it was literally a metal band. I played nothing but Les Pauls, drop C tuning, did that for a few years, and then joined a cover band as a side project. So I literally wanted to do the opposite of everything I was doing. So high gain Les Paul, drop C, to standard tuning, Telecaster through a Fender amp with low gain, like maybe a Klon, just boosting, never much more than maybe 2 Klons stacked.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first ever guitar was a Tesco Del Rey, and it was a piece of crap, and that's just putting it nicely. I mean, right. It was okay to kind of like try to figure out what chord, but I mean, high action, warp neck, it was junk. So I eventually got myself a made in Japan Fender Bullet, which was like a smaller Strat body with the Telecaster neck, and that was cool. And I had that for a while, and then I was married for a while, and then I got divorced. And of course, I'm buying me a guitar. So I bought a 1994 Les Paul Studio from the Musician's Friend catalog. I paid $650 for that thing, brand new. And it came in a gig bag, and it was the Alpine White with gold hardware with an ebony fingerboard. And it was cool. And I had that up until I got my 72 Les Paul gold top. And then I'm like, I got this one. I got the gold top. I don't need a studio. I regret that. I regret that so much. It was a cool guitar. I'm like, duh. But I was young and naive, and I didn't know any better. It was the drugs.
Well, that helps. Yeah. which I was going, is there much drugs and alcohol in music? Yes.
Too much. This one band I was in here in California, we had a drummer that was constantly chain smoking. I mean, just one after another. Even during the gig, they tell him not to smoke. He'd tell him to FO.
Right.
And I asked his wife, I go, God, why does this guy smoke so much? He goes, well, if he doesn't do that, he'll be doing cocaine. And I'm like, okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. Well,
which, unless you want to play real fast, you don't want your drummer. Having played in a band with a drummer that did cocaine. Yep.
I'll just like go over here away from the smoke and have the fan position. I mean, this guy was a chimney, you know.
Yeah, it's like I don't think a lot of people realize like most artists have some form of mental health issue to a certain extent or on the spectrum in some way. Otherwise, we'd have no problem putting on a shirt and tie every day and going to a 9-to-5 everyday job and not want to shoot ourselves over. Because I know there's a lot of folks watching right now that still do a 9-to-5, but they have that outlet of music. And those, a lot of them, that's why you have like a lot of people don't make it into their 30s because for various reasons, you know, the most artistic people usually like to lean on something to self-medicate. You know.
Yeah, that's true. And living here in Los Angeles and, you know, just being around the scene and, you know, I'm just watching. I'm always like the observer, you know, and I just seen people like, you know, this guy's struggling, this person's struggling, you know, and that's the dark side of this, but
Matt, I'm well, right? Oh God. Yep. Exactly. Oh yeah, like man, you do a handful of pot references during a set. You walk out the side door because I quit smoking, and I go out for a vape, but I have like 3 joints handed to me. You know,
yeah.
And it's like most of the time I'm like, okay, that's cool, but then again, you don't know what's in that.
Or the drinks, you know,
the drinks.
Amplifier tops are just full of drinks, but you know,
we bought a round for the band. Yeah, unless I see a staff member bring up that round for the band.
Yeah.
Which is always weird. It was always our drummer in the metal band that will always have drink spot for him. One member of the band that didn't drink. Yeah. So he was always like handing us off drinks. Oh, I got 3 beer spot for me. I'm like, I didn't get a beer spot for me. I'm like, you're the drummer. You're the back. Nobody sees you. What the hell's going on?
Hey, I was the non-drinker guy too. So it's like, you know, weed though. Oh, that's another story.
I think he got into weed a little later, but he was like, just like he was straight edge, and just because, you know, like his dad drank and smoked weed and stuff, and so he had been around it, and he didn't really have any desire to do it. His mom was a bit of an alcoholic, and then after a while, like hanging out with me, and he saw like I would drink at shows and stuff, not usually to excess, although once I stopped having fun in the band, then the drinking started, unfortunately. But
yeah,
and he noticed that, but he'd come out and he started smoking weed a bit here and there, and he'd be like, after show, he's like, yo, I want 2 puffs off your joint after we play tonight. I'm like, done. Of course, dude. You know, like your family, of course.
That's cool. Yeah, I never a puff or 2, but that's about it. 99.9% of the time, completely sober.
Mm-hmm.
Which was cool because I had nerves anyways, and I figure I just better focus. And
that's why I would drink moderately, I will say. Especially, like, I had a real problem with if I was playing at a venue for the first time, I was usually pretty much a basket case.
Yeah.
If we went back there, it could be a year and a half later. Going back there, cool as cucumber. Once I played a venue once, piece of cake. But for whatever reason, and so it started with, you know, sipping on a beer, you know, because you got time. Usually we're playing last. So, you know, sip on 2 or 3 beers over the course of 3 hours, maybe. Go out, have a couple tokes. But then it got to the point where I stopped having fun in the band. And then start carrying a hip flask with me to gigs because that cut down on the bar tab. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, that's not good.
You're not making any money. You might as well, you know, and people would always try to, you know, here, let me, you know, get you a drink. I'm like, nah, I don't drink. And come on, they'd insist on buying it. So it's like, okay. And I just give it to everybody else. And they're like, dude, you know, and they would try to do it to get you to, you know, break your thing. And it's like, yeah, I got them to drink. But they just send finally there's, you know, 6 or 8 per member. and they're like falling down on themselves, and I'm just like standing there. Oh, I'm good.
Hey, Lynette. Ryan stopped drinking in 92. Sure. Yeah, I just stopped for the most part just a few years ago just because it's getting too expensive. And I was only drinking during these shows, basically. Like I'd sip on a beer or two over the course of a live stream. But then I found like that was the only time I was really drinking because it was COVID / post-COVID. So I stopped hanging out with people in person. Now, if I came over to your place, it's a beautiful day, mid-70s, sunshine, and you say, hey, you want a beer? We're sitting on your deck? Sure. I'm not going to turn it down, but I'm also not going to go out and buy one. So literally the only time I have a drink now is if I'm hanging out with one buddy from high school and he'd be like, you want a beer? I'm like, no, I don't drink it anymore. He goes, yeah, you're having a beer. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm having a beer. He would be rather insistent. I'm like, okay. And then, or once in a while, I'll pick up like a can of Caesars, which is like a Bloody Mary.
Oh, okay.
I do enjoy those. So, and that was last year. I don't think I got any this year.
I didn't like the taste of alcohol at all. Beer, hard alcohol, just never really liked it. And then, my parents enjoyed it, so I probably didn't like it because they enjoyed it. So, so that's when you're like, oh, what's this marijuana thing?
Yeah, I always much preferred that. That's for sure. Especially after the shows. Oof, to me.
Oh, yeah. That's why it's nice to...
Bob says, I don't drink with somebody to kick cigarettes. I tell you, I got off cigarettes. I got into nicotine vaping for years. And the only way I got out of that was I substituted it with weed. Like literally substitute nicotine for weed. And it got to the point because you would be craving nicotine, smoke another joint. Then I'm too high to fucking do anything. Guess what? I didn't have a cigarette. And then once I got out of my system, after a good week of no nicotine at all, then it got easier. But even then, I had a CBD vape pen with me, so I could use that, and it had a similar flavor to my nicotine.
Oh, okay.
Vape. It worked to an extent. Paint namer in the house.
Searching for tone.
Richard Clark popped in. That drink was like it had wait. Dad's peach drink. He was wondering why they went down so quick. Peach schnapps. Oh yeah, peach schnapps is good. Root beer schnapps. That's the stuff.
Yeah, I hear about a lot of drinks that sound kind of cool, but I don't know. It would have to be something like this one guy on YouTube is called Doka Ryan, and he mixes candies with alcohol and stuff, and he did like Werther's Originals mixed in with Malibu rum and let it sit for a few days, and then he stirred it up, and then he did a shot, and he said it was amazing.
I bet it was.
So
I had a butterscotch root beer or butterscotch. Yeah, it was butterscotch root beer they called it, but it was basically it tastes like carbonated Werther's.
Huh.
I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. But it was a limited edition thing, and I don't even know where I got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
God, something like that. Yeah, then I just, start being a drunk.
Right.
Tell the wife, I found a new thing.
Well, I keep teasing our friend Charles. He's never partaken in the marijuana in his life. I said, well, he's like, no, I won't smoke it or anything. I'm like, well, it's edibles. And then I showed him, because he still have the can, a THC infused root beer. And he says, you know what? That I'd be behind. I said, well, you can't drink this whole can because that was 150 milligrams, and that would put him on the floor for about 12 hours. So I said, I'd share it with you.
And then it would be like the perfect out. Oh, I just thought it was a root beer. I didn't know. I just, I wasn't looking at the label.
Well, that's the thing, right? By the time he takes the second or third sip, something weird about this. I'm like, oh, you've already drank enough. I'll just take the rest of that can.
It didn't have an aftertaste? Yeah, I thought it was diet.
Yeah. Nope. We got a good size crowd here tonight. That's cool.
Well, yeah, Guitar Bob, you need to definitely quit.
Yep. I bet you could, Tim. Where are you in Ontario? And plus, I get my weed very cheap, like very cheap, especially compared to American prices. It's pennies on the dollar.
I'll bet it's pretty expensive, like for good stuff. But then, the dispensary just drops it off at my door, which is
Right.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, like it used to be before it was legal, a decent ounce was $200. The market was so saturated that until a couple of months ago on the res, I was paying $20 for my favorite strain of weed for an ounce.
Wow.
Right?
Dang, that's like 1970s prices.
Yeah, and people are like, why don't you grow your own? I'm like, for that price? Because I also fill up with gas while I'm on the res. And guess what? Get a tank of gas, it works out to about $20 in savings versus retail. So basically, it's free weed.
God, I can't beat that.
Yeah, and tax-free, which we have a 13% sales tax. I've never actually been to a legal dispensary since it was legalized years ago here. Never felt the need.
It kind of takes the dispensary. It's a nice convenience to have, but it's
I've been to them in LA, Orange County, but ironically not in Canada. But
yeah,
ironically enough, the last time I was in California, I got picked up at the airport. We went straight to a dispensary for some reason. And then we even took our third friend in who he's like, I don't smoke. I'm like, no, but you're buying because I can only buy so much legally at a time here.
Yeah.
And we need more than I can legally procure. So guess what? You're buying an ounce of weed. Okay.
I mean, they're right on every corner.
He said it was partially plant anyways. And we did have to go back 3 more times over the course of the week. Just kept running out.
To check out the varieties and stuff, purely scientific.
I think my pot bill was about the same as my airfare to California and back.
That's not hard to do.
No, it's not.
I mean, yeah, because the first time you see that, like somebody go into the dispensary, the first time ever, and they're like, "Oh, well, I'll take a little this and little this and little this," and before it was only cash only, and now they take debit and credit and everything, and now these people are like buying like, okay, that's $400 and something. And I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, like this year was it became the summer of hash because I didn't realize hash was so cheap on the res. I'm paying $5 for a gram of hash.
Wow, I didn't know hash was like still a thing.
Yeah, neither did I.
Huh.
Well, you know what? Put a screen in the bong. Now it's a big hash pipe.
There you go.
Right. It's great hash, including white hash. He's like, you ever seen white hash? I'm like, no.
No, that's a new one.
It's a little off white, this one, but.
Oh, well, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's really gooey. So I haven't been
smoking. It's all sticky like a booger.
Oh, it's like just stuck right in. I can't even get it out. So, oh, we got other ones that are much drier.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, nice little chocolate hash. That's Audi. I don't know. It's German. I don't know. I think you smoke it and want to invade Poland or something. I don't know. Ours says I made bubble hash. Nice. It tastes awful. Well, that's not nice.
Speaking of smoking weed, like one cool time when I was working at Carvin in Hollywood, Didi Ramon comes in, and he was a really cool guy, really quiet, kind of introverted, little squirrely, and so I sold him a guitar, and then I went to a show, and he broke it in like 3 pieces that night, and it was a really nice Koa, a telly-shaped object and everything. And so he came in the next day with the pieces of the guitar, and I'm like, yeah, nice show, Didi, but did you have to smash the guitar? It was really nice. And he goes, oh, can you guys fix it? And I'm like, no, I can't, so he goes, hey man, can you like give me a ride home? And I'm like, yeah, let me ask my boss. So then I gave him a ride home to his place, in Hollywood here, and invited me upstairs. And my boss goes, okay, if he asks you to get high, don't come back too fucked up. And I'm like, okay, I didn't think he was going to ask me to get high, but, good to know. And so went in there, and, Didi Ramon was actually quite the artist. He lots of drawings, sketches and stuff like that. He was very, very talented, and I was blown away. I loved his artwork. And he goes, "Hey, you want to get high?" Yeah, sure. So, smoked a joint, and I was pretty bombed when I got back to work. And but it was better than the other guy, Pedro, that gave him a ride home. Pedro came back so blitzed he had to sit in the PA room and just sit there and just listen to some music on headphones. And I just went back to work. But it's cool just sitting there, and you tell me some stories about being on the road and stuff, and it's not as cool as getting high with Willie Nelson, but I got high with Dee Dee Ramone.
Nothing wrong with that.
And that's still pretty cool.
Right? Yeah, I have no problem with that. Yeah, I suppose, we're an hour in. We could talk about you working at Carbon back in the day to a certain, because I know, like, Guitar Man 45 in the chat, he owns like 14 Carbons at this point. And that's fine. But I remember during Charles' show, you had a bit of an interaction with Joe Walsh. And now that guy has got to be one of the biggest characters in the world, period.
He was really cool. That was when I was running the store in Sherman Oaks. And like, I'm just sitting at the counter, and he comes walking in, and he was interested in these the little tweed amps that they had. So we had 2 of the 33 watts, and he goes, "Yeah, I'll take these 2." I'm like, "Okay," and he wanted the extension cabinets, and then he wanted the covers with them and the foot switches, and loaded them up. Okay, help him load his stuff up. So then he comes in the second day, and he wanted the 212 versions, the 50 watts. So we bought 2 of those with the extension cabs and the covers and foot switches, all that. And I'm like, holy shit. And I'm just like, I just sold this shit to Joe Walsh. Nicest guy, really cool. And got a picture with him. And so he comes in the third day, and then he wanted the 50 watt separate head with the 410 cabs. We had the last 2 in the chain. So he wanted those. I'm like, okay, same deal, covers, foot switches, all that shit. And so he goes, "Hey, you want to go to lunch?" Yeah, sure. So we went down the street to El Torito and had lunch. And yeah, he was cool. Just he loves gear. He gets giddy and excited talking about gear and stuff. And it was really cool just hanging out with him. And it was like, I'm just going to listen to him talk, because there's nothing I can actually say that would be anything even remotely interesting to a guy like him, So I'm just going to just be a sponge and just enjoy the scene.
Yeah, see you Tuesday, Seth. The day of twos. We're going shopping.
Oh.
Nothing cool, just groceries.
Still depends on what kind of groceries you're getting.
Lots. I got to load up. I've been letting everything run down. It's one of those, I got to buy the regular groceries, plus, I'm out of most of my condiments. Shit like that. It's like,
that'll really kill your grocery bill right there.
Right?
I'm
going to spend like $30 just on condiments. I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank goodness for Amazon Fresh. Let me tell you.
Nice. I haven't checked into that. I don't even have an Amazon account anymore. And there's an Amazon now in town, so it'd be even fresher.
Yeah, because just the hassle, like going anywhere in Los Angeles with the traffic, and then just
True that.
All that. Yeah, Amazon Fresh is great.
It's where I'm pretty lucky, because I pull out of my driveway, I go down about 1.5 miles, and I drive through a set of lights, and I drive about another 3/4 of a mile, and I drive through a set of lights, and I'm at a Walmart all of a sudden that has a huge grocery section. Perfect.
Yeah, back in El Paso, if I was like feeling insomniac, I would go down to the super Walmart, and it was open 24/7, and I'd go grocery shopping. I'm like, I need a pair of jeans or something. Look at this, let me get some underwear, so all that other stuff, and it was pretty cool. And I got all that done, and all the chores that I was gonna do during the day have been done. So it's like I can just kick back.
True that. I'll do that sometimes too. Sitting around bored in an evening, I'm like, what? I'm gonna go over, do a little shopping, and then say, saw there's a couple of things I need to pick up, like milk and bread or something. Then what do we got on sale? Just browse the aisles, see what's on sale.
Yeah, and then you find something. It's like one time I was looking around, I was like, and all of a sudden, boom, a sale on iced tea makers. It was like $15. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Came with the picture and all. So I picked it up, and I had that thing for like 12 years before it finally died. I love that thing.
Michael Cross says, condiments, they're free at fast food places. I couldn't tell you the last time I ate fast food. Last year? Maybe once this year? Because sometimes my sister will want to stop off to pick up fast food for her and the girls. And I might have a burger or something, but not often. Is it because I never eat it? It's just my body's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
It's like,
sometimes you crave McDonald's, but yeah. And that's the thing with Grubhub here. You can really spend a lot of money. Just like you can fast food your ass off, but it'll cost you.
Oh yeah.
Between that and the tip and everything, the service fee and the delivery fee and all this other crap.
I do like that a lot of places have it. This is like available for pickup and stuff. Like I was going to get some fried chicken the other day. It's like, well, we can deliver it for $10. I'm like, no, you're only like a couple miles down the road. I can go pick it up. But I like the idea. I can just walk in and it's already done. Here's my confirmation number. Already paid for it.
$10 and a tip. How's tipping culture up there in Canada?
Good.
Healthy. Okay. It's
crazy. It's weird. More places are asking for tips that I don't think deserve to. If you're a waiter or a waitress, yes, because I know their minimum wage is less than regular, say, retail minimum wage. But if you're working at a place like you're making regular minimum wage, it's like we're acting in Little Caesars. I'm like, literally, you hand me a pizza, I tap my debit card. I don't think that warrants a tip.
Yeah. Same with the dispensary. Can I have? Yeah. Here you go. And then the tip thing comes up. It's like you literally did this.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, they have a tip. Now, my sister will drop off baked goods at the dispensary that we stop at. That's different. They love my sister because she will do that. I was like, oh, lemon squares, or something.
Hey, that's pretty awesome.
Damn. Right? Because they all have the fucking munchies because they're all fucking high at work.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
It's funny. I was talking to the guy one day. He decided he was going to, because for product testing, he wanted to try the different edibles that they had available and stuff. But the problem was the edibles were giving him the munchies, so he'd eat more edibles because he had the munchies. And all of a sudden, he's like I'm really wasted. It like got to the end of his shift, and he's like, I don't think I can go home. Like I'm gonna have to call for a ride type thing. And he says I haven't been that way in 20 years. But then he literally had to pull out the waste paper basket, like go through all the wrappers, and he starts eating. He goes, I ate like fucking 700 milligrams today. No wonder I'm high as fuck. I was like, yeah. I'm like, so what do you recommend? That. Okay.
Yeah, we get the kind of we get some of the employees that first thing in the morning they're with the bad attitude. Oh, can you tell me about this strain? It's good.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, like Guitar Bob, I tip the dispensary people if they're helpful, like a good sativa. Yeah, and like over there, they're pretty good on stuff, and they'll have like a mini cooler. You get an extra, like if you spend over $20, they give you a free drink. I'm like, cool.
Nice.
A free pre-roll, which is worth a couple of bucks. And you only have to spend $20. Which also you think, well, that $20 is really closer to $15. If you figure a can of pop, which at convenience stores can be $1 or $2. Pre-roll's worth a couple of bucks.
Well, it's always nice to get a special. Like I go through Ease here, and they always have a since I'm a military veteran, they give me like a nice big discount, and then they stuff's on sale. I get a discount on top of that too. So if nothing's on sale though, they're gonna stick it to you. But the sale and the discount, oh yeah, you can load up. Of course, the stuff I want is not on discount that much.
Right. Yeah, same. Although currently they do have Afghani Gold Seal hash on for half price. Regularly 10 a gram on for $5. So every time I'm in there.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Like these, what is it? These like Blue Sky gummies. It's $10 a bag. But man, when they go on sale, oh yeah, I'll buy like 10 bags or something.
Show the folks. I am picking up on Tuesday, thanks to a benefactor of this channel. That's all I'm going to say, because I showed it to them, and they said, you have to try that.
Oh.
So I asked the guy, I think I asked him what the most expensive pre-roll he had in the place was. And he said, have you ever seen a blunt without a paper? To which I said, no. So he showed me this. That's literally hash and keef rolled like a fucking fruit roll up. So I'm gonna pick that up on Tuesday and see how that feels. We've lost your audio again. Yeah, we lost your audio again. Guess go fuck. Apparently, audio is good for an hour. And if you'd like to chip in on a pre-roll as well, virtual tip jar, folks. Plus, or put it towards the streaming software. We can do either or. Right, Lee? With a glass filter. I was like, what the hell? Thank you, Terry. By the way, I keep forgetting to say that. So yeah, we're gonna try that out. This fella's getting really low anyway, so he needs to stop in on Tuesday. So it's groceries and other groceries. Some other stuff too. I think it's called Pop Rocks they got for $20. Not sure what the hell that is, but oh, come on, add to stage. There we go. Oh, you're muted. There you go.
There we go.
Yay!
You know, all I did was pick up my phone, and then it just like, okay, so I'm not touching my phone.
Weird.
Yeah.
Lee's gonna look for one of those pre-rolls too. Yeah, like it's basically like moon rock in a tube shape. I don't know.
That was just trippy looking.
Yeah, he showed to me. I'm like, I gotta take a photo of that and show the guys, and then he laughed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think they got another thing. It was called like Pop Rocks for $20. And there's another thing called Snowballs for $50. I don't know what that is.
Like the snowballs, the hostess thing?
I have no idea. It says Snowballs, $50 each, 2 for $80. So I'm gonna ask. I have questions. So I've never looked in that display case before.
Yeah, like those the hostess snowballs or like Dolly Madison. I don't know who makes them, but you walk by those and I'm like, ooh.
Well, usually it's like a snowball, I think, is either shatter or hash, usually rolled in keef.
Oh.
Or that's a moon rock. I can't remember. So I'm going to inquire about both, folks. So
yeah.
Find out next week. Tune in.
Looks like a rolled up piece of carpet. Yeah. Kind of does.
Yep. And a bunch of people were asking, am I going to have it on air? No, that's going to be relaxing on the couch with a stack of albums to listen to and a lot of munchies available. I may fast all day prior to partaking in that because we're going to put on some weight. I have a feeling. I'll make some pizza and hot dogs and a hamburger. Yes. Followed by lasagna. What? And then cake.
Oh, that sounds like a plan.
Okay, Guitar Bob. I still have one edible left. Yeah, I got to get more edibles too. That's a hash-based edible instead of weed extract. It's hash extract, and it does taste. It tastes like hash instead of the usual weed extract. Very weird. But I ripped open the bag, so I can't. I had to put it in that Ziploc. Fortunately, it was there. Cool. That's 200 milligrams, so gotta be careful with that.
Damn. Yeah, I can have one little gummy and it's good, but I eat 2 of those and I'm just like passing out, drooling on myself. Or like it was a long stream on the OU812 and Trev. Boy, he had a few. Right.
Well, he and I have, we've done a few edible events. The 420 show, which was actually on 419, I think I ate 420 milligrams that night just to try to do that. And well, we raised a bunch of money that night too, which helped, folks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So there you go. Matt says a snowball refers to a highly potent product made from hemp or cannabis flower that is coated in a white crystalline substance, that'd be your keef, like a THCA isolate, giving frosty snow-like appearance to this coating. Nice.
Increases. Oh, okay. There we go. Increases the THC.
See you, Timothy. Be on same time tomorrow night. Same time tomorrow night. I don't know what guitar I'm going to play yet. might be the Gretsch.
Sweet.
Or might be my Explorer.
I like your Explorer. That thing's badass.
So do I.
It's
I
cool.
really lucked out with that guitar. And I blame Trev and Hip Metalworks.
Oh, nice.
Because Hip has an original 76.
Yeah.
And Trev is like, he has his Epiphone Extura, which is same shape. And
yeah.
he's, you got to get an Explorer. You got to, maybe. But I always thought that's like a bucket list thing. Like, what am I going to do with Explorer? You kidding? I'm not a rock star. Rock stars play Explorers. What?
Yeah.
And then it just happened. Like I said, I want natural finish, gold hardware, like that. Those are my criteria.
Yeah, the classic look.
Yeah, we found that one. It was out on the East Coast, Canada. Came halfway across the country.
No, wow.
And yeah, and got a sweet deal on it because they got it in on trade in 2018. So when they worked with me on the price, they were able to look at what they had into it, which was not much. And then we were able to work out a deal because when I started doing videos over at Long and McQuaid at that time, so I think the manager also wanted to sweeten me up a bit. And
oh, nice.
He did. Holy fuck, yeah.
What's the weight on it? Not too heavy, not too...
No, like, it doesn't seem heavy. Like, it's not light, but it doesn't seem... Because it's a fairly big guitar. So, all things considered, no worse than, some Les Pauls, definitely.
Oh, okay.
I'll say.
Yeah, my Flying V is like it's a ridiculously light feather. It weighs 6 pounds on the dot.
There's a V I've had my eye on for a while, and I was fine living without a V because I knew they did a thing, because they're different than a Les Paul sonically, the same as an Explorer is different than a Les Paul sonically. And literally, it was when I was shooting the demo and I played an F bar chord. And then there was a squonk. That's the only word I can use to describe it. And I was actually telling one of the Long and McQuaid employees, we were talking about it yesterday. And I said, I'm like, you need to play an F bar chord on that thing. It's got a squonk. He's like, what the hell's a squonk? I'm like, it's a thing. There's a mid-range squonk that comes through and it cuts. And then, and as soon as I did it, I went, I get it now. Because after years of hearing... main reference was Paul Stanley, of all things, because he said in the studio, Ace was always playing his Les Pauls. His stuff he was playing on stage sounded basically like a Les Paul. So he brought in his V, and his V sounded different because they're playing through with the same amps, if not the same amp in the studio. I would not doubt. Because they both just had plexis. So the sonic difference, and I went, I'm like, it's that squawk. Play an F chord, and you hear it. And I was like, oh, okay.
That kind of nasty, snarly, little mid-rangey kind of, just
and that thing, that's just a snarling beast. It's got the hottest pickups I've ever heard in my life. And that's the same, so it owns Wolfgang pickups and tone zones and, like multiple high output pickups. Those suckers have got to be close to 20K.
Wow. Because
they're not 15. I know they're not 15 because Wolfgangs are like 15. And I know how they hit my pedal board. And it's like was it Trev and me? When I got the Explorer, I'm like, snagging it. He goes, let me know when we'll hang. So we're hanging out like this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to plug it in. And I hit an E chord, and it sounded like I had a mild to medium gain. And this is before I was even running stereo, I think. I don't even think I had a stereo setup yet. And he's like, what are you playing through? I said, fucking Blues Deluxe on the clean channel, which every guitar I've ever plugged into it is clean. And now I'm hearing dirty, broken up sound. Right? And he's like, well, what pedals do you have on? And I look down. I'm like, none. And for us to get it to clean up, I lowered the pickups over 7 turns on the screws. Wow. Which, you're lucky to have 7 turns on the screw. Like I was expecting the pickup to fall inside at any point. Nope.
Wow.
I think somebody who previously had them too high.
Yeah.
Like higher than normal. Although it didn't look like they were touching the strings or anything. But now when I look at, they're flush with the pickup rings, very much like Les Pauls should be.
Yeah.
Yep. Whereas most guitars now, pickups are always proud of the rings on 99% of the guitars I see.
Yeah. And sometimes, like with the historic rings, are a little bit taller than your standard Gibson rings. You know, so that could be one reason why. But yeah, my V has the 490 R&T in it, and they're not super high output, but they sound really good in that guitar.
Yeah, that's the 498 in the neck and a 500 in the bridge.
Nice. That 500T pickup, I love the sound of those things.
That's the super hot ceramic. Like,
oh yeah. Yep.
Which, as much as I love Alnico pickups, which do a thing, ceramics do a thing too.
Yeah. See, that's a good reason to have more than one guitar, though. You know, it's like,
exactly.
Why do you need a flying V, 2 flying Vs? Well, this one has ceramic, and this one has Alnicos, and this other V has Alnico 3s in it, and this one has Alnico 4s in it, and this one has a Super 8, you know, and just get the fuck out of here. Always a good reason.
Yep. Oh, I agree. And two guitars that are built right next to each other are not going to sound the same anyways, even if they have all the same parts, because even two guitars made out of the same tree, wood in different spots of that tree is going to sound different.
Yep.
So that's why I always get a kick out of, like, I get comments on demos. Hey, what does it weigh? Well, what does it matter?
Yeah.
The one I demoed weighed this. The one you're buying, unless you're buying this exact guitar, they're not that consistent. Acoustics are, but guess what? Nobody ever asked, what's the weight like on an acoustic? Said nobody ever.
Yeah, I know.
Right? So it's like, but I get a kick out of that. And especially, and it's always on low end stuff. I was like, the most inconsistent for weight.
Yeah.
You could have two guitars, same model, from the same company, same year, folks, and one will weigh 8 pounds, 2 ounces. Another one's 10 pounds, 3 ounces. Exact same everything, hardware-wise and pickups. But
yeah, like on the Sweetwater site, when they were selling these Jimmy Page Dragon Tellys, they had some like 9 pounds, one 8.5 pounds, one 7 pounds, something, and then there was this one 6 pounds, 10 ounces. And I'm like, damn! And then I refreshed my page, and it was gone. Somebody saw it and snapped it up.
Yeah,
I tend to go for the lightweight guitars. Right. And sometimes you just got to just do that.
Mm-hmm.
And of all of those, that 6 pound one had the nicest grain on the wood too. I'm like, well, that's a pretty looking guitar.
Last week's guest, Chad, on. Good to see you. Guitars are like fingerprints.
Guitars are like fingerprints.
Terry says, yeah, I never understood the need for multiples of the same guitar style. Now I think it's subjective, but who put Strat single coils on Les Paul? Well, actually, no, I do understand the need for multiples, but only when I was gigging. Like when I played a Les Paul all night, if I broke a string, I had another Les Paul handy to grab. Actually, most I brought 2 to 3 Les Pauls to those gigs. And then when I was playing the other band, I had 1 or more Tellys. It wasn't until later, the next band, that's where we had fun, Dave. It was great because being in a band with your best friend, who's the other guitar player, and we both have an eclectic collection, getting there, like, say, half a dozen guitars each at that time.
Wow.
And he'd be like, what are you thinking of playing this week? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't really given any thought. What do you want to play? He goes, I'm feeling my Strat. I want to play my Strat, Friday night. I'm like, okay, well, I'll play Les Paul. And then the next week is, I want to play by Ibanez Hollow Body. I'm like, okay, well, I'll play a Telly. And then later, which was the greatest, was when he'd play his Ibanez Hollow Body, his jazz guitar. I was playing my Kramer.
Wow.
And everyone's waiting for, when's he going to bust out and do some tapping and stuff? No, we're doing REM, Tom Petty, Beatles. But I'm playing with a Floyd Rose, HSS, Kramer, Billy. When's he going to do it? I'm like, nope.
That'd be like taking a BC Rich Ironbird out to a praise and worship concert.
Actually, I used the BC Rich Mockingbird to play Slide On for Man on the Moon by REM.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah. Because I just thought, that's going to look so absurd. And it did. It's like, oh, I'm like, hang on, I got to switch guitars for this next song. And people they see me pick up Mockingbird. They're like, oh, they're going to pull it like a Judas Priest song or something. We're going to get, nope, Man on the Moon.
Yeah. Could have been worse. It could have been playing like show tunes on it or something,
Oh, yeah. But that's the fun thing. Same as how I like to play Van Halen on a Gretsch.
That is cool.
Right.
It's like what they don't expect.
Yep. Well, and part of Ed's thing was, having that sustain that could go into feedback. No problem with a Gretsch at volume. Yeah. It's like having an EBO without needing one.
Yeah,
we're going to go a few more minutes here, folks. Pete Thorne's going live at the bottom of the hour, so you guys should check out that Pete. I hear he's pretty good kid. He's over on tour in Japan, so you guys should head over there after we wrap up and tell him Ben sent you. Because I'm not going to bother going over to Monterey. He's on his own. So I have stuff to do later. That doesn't involve Pete. So there is that. So, yeah. We have had some great questions and comments so far, which is awesome. We've talked guitars. We've talked some amps. We've talked some pedals. Digital versus solid state versus tube. iPad is already there. Nice. Maybe throw a link to Pete's channel in there, Terry, for those that literally live under a rock and aren't aware of Pete. That'd be nice. And you're watching sports. Go sports! No. I have no idea, Ryan. I haven't spoken to him. I just know that he's going live at 9:30 Eastern. Appreciate that, Terry.
Let's see.
So the number one is the Blue Telly. What amp are you currently playing through?
Let's see. The sitting here at home, I have a 73 Viber champ that I run through all the time, and I picked that up. Selling a bunch of Gibson Pure stickers that I got from the NAMM show. I mean, they were giving them away, so I grabbed them. Sure. And then towards the end of the show, they were getting ready to throw a bunch of stuff out, and the guy goes, "Hey, you want a bunch of stickers?" I'm like, "Yeah." So they gave me like a couple boxes full. I had a stack about maybe 5 feet high, and I sold them on eBay, and I had a whole bunch of money in my PayPal account, and I saw this amp, and I'm like, got it real quick, and I've had it, restored it a little bit, and it's been going fine for 26 years now. And, I have my Marshall, and I have a Hughes & Kettner Tubemeister 20 and a Tone Master Deluxe Reverb. And that's about it. The Tone Master is actually a really cool amp.
Mm-hmm. That's I think that's what Zach Thong's looking at getting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the deluxe model or not. It might be the twin. I don't know. But I know he's looking at the Tone Master because, especially for him, like, he's kind of a bluesy guy. It's got an IR out. Boom. And it is kind of the best of both worlds. Like, if you're going to go digital and you want to play through a Fender amp, who's better to do the digital than Fender?
Yeah, that's true.
Who've put a lot, I will say they put a lot of time and effort. What's up, Jason? Into their whole digital thing. Between the Tone Master and then they got that Tone Master multi-effects unit. Yeah. Billy likes his Tone Master Deluxe.
That 410 Bassman looks pretty cool. I'd like to try that out.
I just remember I did not like the Tone Master Princeton because it started to saturate after about 3, but 3 was still bedroom volume to me. Like I was just diming it, and I'm sitting right next to it, and I'm like, really? I can talk over this.
Like Fender had a cool, they're like 70s silver panel version of the ramp with the red font and everything, but it had a Celestion, what do you call it, a redback speaker. It's got a much bigger magnet than your typical speaker, and it handles like 150 watts worth of power. So, like, that's got to be just clean headroom all the way up.
Right. Steve was asking, what guitar is your go-to after the Telly?
Gosh, could be, it's like between my 95 American Standard Strat that I got all modified, or it could be my ES 333, and even my this one. This is my my neon pink Charvel with Mr. Hat on it, and yeah, I got this
Nice.
after let's see, it was a big deal when I got this guitar. I'm legally blind actually, and I have retinitis pigmentosa, so I see out of 2 tiny little spots. And so I went to a 6-week comprehensive, I call it blind guy boot camp at the VA hospital in Long Beach. And so I learned how to be a blind guy. And after I graduated from there, I wanted something to kind of commemorate it. And so I got this. And it was, I was thinking about the slime green, and then, but the neon pink was on sale. So I got it, and I don't regret it. And this is the color I should have ended up with anyways.
What year is that?
2018.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. And yeah, I freaking love this guitar. It sounds so good, and it plays good. It's a lot of fun to play. And I'm a big Charvel fanboy. I just love them.
I've been spoiled on that one too. I played JJ's 80s San Dimas. Spoiled me for all modern ones. Because the necks are different. Like I like modern ones, but the necks are a little, it's weird. They're like thicker, but still feel like smaller. It's hard to explain, those vintage necks. But they are just a little bit, and there was a mojo to that guitar too. And it's funny because the first time I played it, like the fretboard, it looked like Eddie's fretboard. It was just like Hmong City, right? Like I didn't want to touch it. I was like, oh fuck, dude, But I'm playing it. This is a cool guitar and stuff, And then I said, you ever thought about cleaning this fretboard? No, whatever.
The hell you want to do that for?
A few months later, I cleaned the fretboard. It's fucked. The guitar it lost all the mojo. It's fucked. And he had to play the shit out of it for like 3 months to get the Hmong back. He brought the mojo back again. It's just like he's like, it's lost all the mojo. I'm like, sorry.
A bass player friend of mine told me that he wanted me to work and set up his 1962 P bass, and so he hadn't changed the strings on in like 30 years. So, put on new string, cleaned it up, got it. The fingerboard just got it all just perfectly immaculate, hydrated, got it all set up. You ruined the mojo. I set it up just like, no, the strings, they're too new. It's like, well, play it another 30 years. And,
right.
When you're in your 80s, you'll finally get your tone back.
Maybe think about flat ones.
Yeah. It's a nice that his P bass has serious mojo, though. It was incredible.
Yeah, thanks you, Terry. Well, that's been an awesome time. If you hang the line here, we'll wrap things up. Remind folks, tomorrow night I'm back with Canucks with Guitars, live Q&A, some bad album covers, live tunes as well. That'll be fun. What demos are coming out? Don't know yet. I got to go shoot them tomorrow. I'm hoping to shoot a couple of Gretches, a hardtail Strat that is sitting in.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I'm really curious because it's priced at just under $3,000. So I don't know what it is. But it's sandblasted, like those PRSs with the exposed grain kind of thing. So yeah, I've never seen one of them either. So check that out. There's a new SG in stock that I'm going to demo. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I know they didn't sell the little Princeton yet, so I can keep making electric demos because I only use their high-end tube Princeton. Problem is, I use it for about 15, 20 demos, get a few hours in on it, Dave, and then a guy comes in, they go like, this is like the best little amp I've ever played through. I'm like, I know. And then they buy it. Then I got to wait for them to get another one in stock. And then I got to break it in again.
Break that in.
Right. Which they love because they know it too. Like, one of the guys said it because it's got the Cannabis Rec speaker, and it takes some time for that speaker to break in.
They really do.
And all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, speaker's broken in." I noticed I was noodling and sound. I'm like, yeah. So don't let any customers plug in, will you? But I think it's the ultimate irony. The thing's 2,200 Canadian plus tax, and it won't keep up with the drummer.
Yeah, I've seen on the. They make a custom shop version for like $3,100, $3,199. I saw the price.
Right. And it still won't keep up with the drummer unless he uses brushes.
Yeah. Oh, that's why you need a deluxe reverb.
Yeah. Right. There we go. Once again, Dave, Spen, you hold those doors open. I don't know. Let Mark Spurgeon in ahead of you in traffic. It's on a road trip. Alaska, obviously. Be good to each other. Happy tone chasing. And of course, as always, don't let her.